Good morning, guys. Saturday morning, late in the morning, mind you, but still Saturday morning. I'm going to pick up where I left off in the last video. That was bleeding brakes, shifter linkage, and moving towards getting this thing ready for a scoot down the road. So first thing I did when I came out, I checked the master cylinder, and sure enough, it was down. So I topped it up, and a buddy of mine came over, and he noticed a little puddle underneath. So sure enough, it was a leaky fitting. I had two leaks actually, and both were, easy to get at, and it was just a matter of giving a little bit of a tweak with the wrench and tightening the fittings, and it seems to have stopped. So I'll keep an eye on it though, and yeah, so I topped it up, and we'll just let gravity keep doing its thing. I did a little bit more on the shift linkage, and I'll show you where I'm at on that, and I think I can finish that off today for sure. And what else? Yeah, a little bit of wiring, maybe tidy up some stuff underneath, and wire up the ignition switch. So I still gonna have to get a battery, but if I have to, I'll take the one out of the square body and for a test run, no big deal. And we'll see how it goes, but I don't think I'll be ready to test it in this video, but we'll see. And if not this one, more than likely next one will be scooting down the road. So stick around, we'll see what happens. Okay, so one of the leaks was just ahead of that battery cable is hanging down. I put the cardboard there because it'll show up a leak right away, as a dark spot. It's easier to see on the cardboard. And this one here was at the proportioning valve, right at the corner of the jack stand where the cardboard is touching it. Yeah, it was just not tight enough. So I think I got them. I'm going to leave it sit for a while. These pieces of cardboard have been here for about an hour and haven't seen anything yet. So I'm calling it good, but we'll see. Especially when I get the foot on the pedal and see what happens under pressure. So then, over here, okay, so you remember this from last video. Anyway, I've got adjustment going in and out down here. And what I did was, this was only threaded about, not even half an inch. So I took my 1/4 inch coarse thread die and continued the threads all the way up to this collar. So with two nuts on there, my bracket's going to be wedged in between the two nuts. So I've got about an inch of adjustment here. So I've got adjustment here, I've got adjustment here, and I'm going to see if I can make one more spot that I can adjust things on the piece that's going to extend from here to the shifter. So I'm going to get on making that piece. I got to get underneath, fit this in, take some measurements, and we'll go from there. So after a few attempts at making a bracket to join the linkage of the tranny to the shifter, I've been unsuccessful. And I'll show you what the problem is. I'll draw it out on the floor here, so bear with me for a second, and I'll just change the camera angle here a little bit. So, we've got the transmission point here. We've got the shifter point here. Now this is a straight rod, okay, that I've made. Here's the problem. This travels at an arc this way. This travels at an arc this way. So they're fighting each other. They're going to bind. What I need to do is find a pathway that's like this, straight, so that there's no binding. Now, there's a mathematical equation for this. Now I'll bring it back up here. So there's a mathematical equation for this, but I've been out of high school since almost 45 years. Just so I don't remember it. I don't remember what I had for breakfast yesterday, or this morning for that matter. And all I know is that I need to change the pathway. Now, they used to bullshit us in school anyway. They told us that pi r squared. And everybody knows that pi are round. Cake are squared. But anyway, so I'm going to play around with it a little bit. I think I need to bend that straight rod a little bit and make the other piece that's on the shifter also a curve to compensate for the two different arcs. So I'm going to play around with it and see what I come up with. And yeah, when I got it figured out, I'll come back. Okay, so here's what I ended up doing. I shortened this one way down and just brought it almost straight up, and then just went across. I used that clevis that I bought and the hind joint. So I did use the pieces that I picked up, and yeah, it works out pretty damn good actually. It's pretty smooth. So yeah, I'll show you how it works when I crawl out from underneath this damn thing. So there you go. Like I said, she's pretty smooth. You know. So there we go, done. Sweet. So now I can drop this thing back down level. All right, so you know, I was up and down under this truck probably 40 freaking times, tweaking the bends, making little brackets, you know, stuff like this, and bending this that way and this way, and trying different things. And actually, I kind of realized I was kind of overthinking this thing a little bit. I actually snapped this piece where it was threaded a 1/4 inch. That's how badly it was binding. So I just sat back for a bit and I just stared at it, and I realized that yeah, I was probably over engineering this thing a little bit. So I'm gonna grab a piece of chalk. So I'll show you what I actually did, and I'll do it with my drawing that I got on the floor. Just let me change the camera angle here. There we go. So this is what I actually did. Instead of dealing with, you know, curves on this piece and whatever, all I did was 3/8 rod, threaded on both ends. I put a little bit of a bend in it, so it went like so. And then this one went just, actually came up higher. And that went there. So as this moved, it just went in a straight line. It was no problem. So my line is actually here. This here's on a swivel. So that compensates for any of the arc. And yeah, keep it simple, stupid, and it worked out. So yeah, that's all there was to it. So now, I'm looking at my master cylinder. It's not doing a whole lot. Come back up here. So the fluid's not moving too much. I've got fluid in the front lines, but nothing in the back. So I've got a buddy that's got one of those vacuum pumps for bleeding brakes. I'm gonna get him over here with that, and see if we can't get some fluid moving. But it is a long weekend. I don't want to bug anybody on a holiday. So what I'm gonna do is My column is ready to go back in for good. So I'm going to get that in the truck, and we'll just carry on. All right, so this thing's ready to go in. I got my bracket for the floor mount, piece of rubber here to seal it up, and yeah, I'll set up the camera on the other side of the truck, and we'll get this thing in. So, you know, get a light on in here. So this will be the tricky part, just getting that to slide in there. But yeah, I'm pretty much ready to go. Come on. Okay. Why is this giving me such grief? These freaking wires, man, are driving me crazy. There we go. Oh man, you gotta be kidding me. How did you do that? Really? Oh. wire way there. There. So simple. Now it's being difficult. There we go. Okay, I'll just tighten those up. Call it done. Okay, so the column's in nice and tight down to the floor. If you can see that with all the wires and crap, there we go. So yeah, it's all good. Yeah, so I'll get my buddy over here with his vacuum pump, see if we can get some brake action going. And then I got a whole list of little things. You know, I'm gonna need a vacuum line for my power booster. Also gonna need a vacuum line going to the transmission. I got to tidy up a couple of hoses and stuff here. You know, this one's not, it's been disconnected. I want to hook my overflow can up. What else? Oh, the battery box isn't fully tightened in yet, so I'll get that done. I've got to tidy up some wires and stuff underneath. The transmission lines are hanging a bit low, get them up. And the transmission crossmember, it's kind of just hanging in there right now. I'm going to have to get that set up permanent. So a whole bunch of little things. Maybe I'll make myself a list and cross them all off, and then once that list is done, I'll be ready to take for a run. So there you go. So there we go. Shifts gears and just bolt the steering wheel on and we can steer it. So get those brakes sorted out. Like I said, I got a bunch of things underneath I got to tidy up and clean up. I got to top up the fluid in the diff. I got to top up transmission fluid. I got to put coolant in it. Power steering fluid. I lost a quart of oil when I was breaking it in with my leaky valve cover, so I got to put a quart of oil in it. So a whole bunch of things, and I'm just gonna, you know, make a list, write everything down, and cross it off. That way I don't forget anything, and you know, because it could cause major problems down the road, and we don't want major problems, do we? At least I don't. So there you go. So if you're watching this video and you have not subscribed, please do. I truly appreciate it, and always looking to grow the channel. You know, leave comments down below. Don't be shy. Like the page and all that stuff, and you know, tell a buddy or two, and help spread the word. And if you're not doing anything else, well, get out in the garage and build something, man. Later, guys.